Try to have some. Before we start, they just told me there are only 500 tickets left for the Miami game, so that's a great sign. And if people want to come to the game, they need to get their tickets fast. We're excited about getting started. I think you coach for lots of different reasons, but Sally once said, "I'd have the best job in the country if it wasn't for these games." People get upset over the games. Well, you have to have the games. That's what the guys get excited about, and the coaches get excited about, because you need to see where you are. And you've made some progress. You feel good about guys. You've changed positions. You've looked at what you're going to do and who you're going to get the ball to and who your best blitzers are and all that stuff. But you've been working against your own. So now it's time to put yours out there against somebody else and see how it works. And all of our guys went to coaches' houses this weekend and watched the Miami-Florida game. They watched it together, and they were talking about game plans and things that they could do. And it's very obvious that in opening games, more games are lost than won because it's sloppy. You're tackling sloppy because there's less tackling now in preseason than there was before because of concussions and lack of depth on your depth charts. There's obviously less live kicking game. You don't have an NFL preseason game. So you're going into a game and you have not been tested in a lot of different areas, and I thought that was obvious with the two games that we saw on Saturday night. I made it till half of Hawaii and Arizona, and then checked it the next morning. But a lot of turnovers in games, a lot of penalties, a lot of mistakes, and those are things that you try your best not to have in an opening ball game to give yourself a chance to win. We've talked to our guys about this is about now. It's not about my past. It's not about their past. It's about what we do starting on Saturday, and that's a new era, whatever you want to call it. But it's their legacy will be this team this year, and especially the seniors. And that's what we've tried so hard. There's some good seniors on this team, and we're hoping that they leave with a very positive legacy as they get ready to move forward. But like I said, you practice year-round. You practice a lot like Olympians, and just for 12 games. And that's what you do. You get 365 days for 12 days. And you got to make those days count. So looks like it's going to be a pretty day in Charlotte. They said it'd be about upper 80s, 5-6 mile per hour wind, and I mean it's not going to rain. I don't think. So 20%. So we're in good shape. Questions from anybody?
How ready do you think your team is, and did they make as much progress in August as you maybe had anticipated?
Coaches never think their teams are ready. So if you said, do we need another week? Yes, but it's time to go. We had a mock scrimmage Saturday, and we had a lot of mistakes. And thank goodness we had that in the stadium, and we were able to go back and talk about corrections yesterday. We practiced yesterday for an hour and a half, and today's our day off. But it was frightening, the number of mistakes we had. And this is the first time the staffs worked together. It's the first time this team and staff has worked together. It's new schemes in all three phases. So we've got a lot to get done before Saturday, and all the things that we screwed up Saturday, we've got to correct.
How has Sam done since taking on the first team?
I think Sam's done better since he took over. It's one of the reasons we felt like we needed to announce a quarterback, because we were not getting very good leadership at that position, because all three of them were trying to get the job and none of them felt like they could step up. And Sam's not real vocal, Jason real vocal, but both guys now, they know who they are, they know where they are, they know the role that they play at this point for our team, and I think Sam's done very well. We did not think, number one, we didn't think it was right to wait the 11 days for the three quarterbacks before we made a decision, and none could transfer if they wanted to. I mean, if you want to leave, you should be able to leave, and Kate did that, obviously. Secondly, we felt like that if it was going to be Sam, for sure, we didn't need to announce him the day before the game or the day after the game. He needed to have felt that for 10 days or 2 weeks, that he was the guy, and get comfortable with you all and get comfortable with it.
Max said he will start Saturday, is how far.
As of today, he'll start Saturday.
Has he,
Kate's decision to transfer, what would be that in terms of him talking with you, or y'all working that out? How'd that kind of go down?
You would have to ask him, but the conversation that we had, he said he wanted to start, and he wanted to play in the NFL, and he felt like he would look elsewhere for better opportunities. And I said, wish you'd stay. He's a great young man. Wish you the best of luck. He said, would you try to keep me from going anywhere? And I said, no, go where you want. We'll try to help you. And we've had some calls from different schools and been very, very positive about him with all of them. He's a really good player and a great young man, so we just wish him luck.
Mac, with only having two of the three guys, then who would be the emergency number 3 guy if you got to that point?
Vincent Amendola,
Okay.
walk-on from Raleigh, would be our third-team quarterback. I walked by Chaz Surratt yesterday, and he looked at me, and I said, yeah, it may be you, brother. He said, Coach, I'm overloaded right now. And I said, good, well, just hang on. You may get an emergency call. I hope you don't, but
How do you envision Reuter? I mean, you've talked about, hey, we need both of these guys. Do you envision him playing this weekend as well, potentially, or just giving Sam as long as you can go with him?
no, we would like to play them both for a couple of reasons. Last year, Larry had 3 that were knocked out of games. So you got to have another guy ready. So we always would like to play 2. Then you got to figure out how, and we're not there yet. When do you put them in, and does it disrupt your team, and what does it take away from Sam? But with both of them being so young, we feel like this year we're going to need both of them to play.
has Sam been more vocal since becoming the blue team quarterback?
Yeah, he's not a vocal guy really. He'll call somebody if he needs to, but he really leads more with his actions. He works so hard. He's in the office every day. He's watching video by himself every day. I don't know that I've ever seen a guy work harder than Sam Howell has just to get himself ready.
In your experiences, might he be someone where once he gets into an actual game and is in the line of fire and the teammates respect him even more, then maybe some of the vocal stuff may come out more, even if you're not seeing it yet?
Absolutely, and they said he did some this summer. You know, we weren't around while they had their player-led practices, but they said he was more vocal and called them up once and challenged them, and so I know it's there, and I think he's a good player. So when he plays well, I think it will help. And Jeremy, I think you told me this is the first time we've potentially ever started a true freshman quarterback at North Carolina.
In opener, yes.
In an opener, yes.
What would you contribute to, or what do you think is the biggest factor to getting through camp without any significant injuries, and how were you all able to do that?
Number one, you got to be lucky because you hit every day, and number two, you at Texas we kept them out in the heat too long and got them too tired, and over time we learned that at 105 degrees it's stupid to leave them out there instead of making them tougher. They're exhausted. The other thing is that since I got out of coaching and back in, the GPS system is really helpful. So we can test kids for sickle cell, and we were doing that at Texas, but that has been a huge help. We know during practice we're monitoring how much they've run, whether he's near a hamstring pull or not, and they will take him out, give him fluids, and all of those things just didn't happen before. And we've really challenged the guys to be tougher. You know, if you are hurt, get out. But if you're sore, come on, man, this is football. And that's something that we've got to do. So we've challenged them to stay on their feet and be aggressive and help each other. We've been blue versus blue most of camp, and white versus white. But we've also challenged them to be smart. And if it's your team, so practice like the NFL. If a receiver's hanging out, don't take his ribs out. When you might in a game, just because it's the nature of the game, you got to knock the ball loose. But don't hit your own teammate when it's in a tough, when he is in an awkward spot.
What all does the GPS system do?
GPS, they actually, we should get our trainer, Luke Ross, up here, or Brian Hess at some point to explain it. They actually wear a vest and it's hooked on their back, and it monitors everything about their body during practice, and we have a strength coach. Dean Mogi sits up above the practice, and he monitors every one of them. And if it comes up red, the young guy's in trouble, we need to get him out. They've got red, green, yellow, just to show you it's the green light. And so it's really a cool thing for kids, that the game is much, much safer for them now than it was when we just had to see, when he got tired, he started cramping, what do we do? In fact, we haven't had cramps in preseason either. So, and I've been eating, they'd have to explain it, but they give them beet juice. I hate beets, and I've been drinking beet juice, that's exactly right. I eat a lot of vegetables, but they give you a vegetable shot, they call it, that's green and really ugly. So I've been doing it with them. I've been taking it every day. So, but the trainers and our strength staff have done a phenomenal job of keeping these kids in shape and healthy. It's been fun to watch.
Mack, is it kind of surreal for you from coming back in November, for being out of coaching for 6 years, to be like it's game week right now? Is it kind of, if you had a chance to kind of look back and be like, oh wow, it's like it's finally here?
Do you know, I haven't. I really haven't thought any different. It's like I never left. I practiced really hard when I was with TB, and I prepared really hard, and it's just what you do for your job. But I haven't thought about anything any different. Saturday for me will be another game, and I've had 43 years on that sideline, so I think it'll be the same way.
What's your relationship, I was gonna say, what's your relationship with Boston?
Will worked for me for 3 years. I hired him from Auburn. He was actually our head coach in waiting. He did a tremendous job for us there. We had a chance to win the national championship while he was there, and that's why we gave him that title. We thought we wanted to keep him, and a lot of people were coming after him, and he's smart, he's tough, he's aggressive, he did a tremendous job for us. And then when he left us, he became the head coach in Florida, and he's doing a great job in South Carolina.
Did it strain the relationship when he left Texas?
No, he left for a head coaching job. So it didn't strain it at all.
Matt, you mentioned that this year will be these kids' legacy, especially seniors. Has it been a process to kind of get them to shed some of the baggage of the past and adjust their mentality? What's that sort of process been like in trying to get them to start fresh?
It was funny that we had a women's clinic in June, I think, and we had a panel. And Antonio Williams, who's been here 1 year, came in from Ohio State. They asked the panel of 4 guys, the ladies did, what's the biggest thing you've got to overcome for this season? And he raised his hand very quickly, and he said, lack of confidence. We've got to be a confident team. So what we've talked to them about is our process and how we win. Because some ask about that, because the previous 2 years they've struggled with winning late games especially. And we told them, here's the process. You win by doing the process. And then we've tried to point out every day in practice, here's why you win, here's why you lose. We had entirely too many penalties last year and too many unsportsmanlike penalties. So we can't do that. We're not better than anybody on our schedule. So we've got to be good at everything we do, and we actually even quit calling them the little things. They're all big things. Penalties are big things. They're not little things for us. A turnover is huge, whether we get it or lose it. How are we going to do on third downs? We were poor on third downs last year, both sides. We turned it over too much, and we didn't get enough back. So you start looking at the process of winning. We've tried to show them, don't get into we're good or we're bad, get into this is what we've got to do to be successful.
If I'm not mistaken, the last time UNC won a season opener against a Power 5 opponent was when you were here. It was against Indiana. Do you have any recollection of that game, and what do you remember?
I remember, I think these two were there, so they were young at that stage. Now they're old. So it's yeah, you both of you make me feel better when you're in the room. But Cameron was the head coach, and he was from Chapel Hill. And I think, I can't remember exactly the score. It's a tight game. Maybe we won 20-13 or something. I can't, I'd have to go back and look at it because I haven't, but Jeremy told me that last night. And that's been too long. We need to fix that.
Mack, what's the nature of the South Carolina series now? Can it be a rival again, and is there a recruiting element in there too?
I think so, in both, because we both recruit the same regions. So you in recruiting, it's like NC State, Duke, Wake, Clemson. I mean, we're all looking at this pool of guys in this footprint. And to me, it was my first game when I was here before with Coach Joe Morrison. And in fact, they beat us, I think, like 38-14. And after the game, he said, "You really have a bad team." And I said, "Thanks, Coach. I was fully aware of that before we got here, but you just reinforced it." So hopefully Will won't tell me the same thing Saturday after the game. But I think it's a great game. I think the fact that we're halfway between the two in Charlotte's fun, and Charlotte's a hotbed for recruiting for both of us. So it does matter to win any game, but when you're playing somebody that all the kids are aware of and they know the coaches on both sides and they're being recruited by both sides, it is more important.
Mack, there's a couple of ACC suspensions that carried over from last year with Dom and Patrice Renee. How are you handling that situation in terms, I know you can pick which halves to play in, so.
Yeah, we haven't made the final decision yet, but it has to be in this game. It couldn't be in any other game, and you get to pick the half, the way I understand it. So we've got to figure out, do you play them in different halves? We still haven't gotten there yet. But we've been very honest with the team and told them these two guys were in a fight after the NC State game, and they really regret it. It's going to cost them some playing time in the opener, so don't fight. I mean, you get nothing out of fighting. In fact, when they used to fight here before and in Texas, I always said, just leave them alone, let them fight. If they're in the heat, they'll quit pretty soon. If we all run up and grab and try to, then it gets big and exciting and all that. Just let them go. Sit them over there in the corner and let them fight. So when y'all get tired, come see me. Because we said the best thing, the two best things that can happen if you fight during a ball game, you break your hand and you get kicked out. Those are the most positive things that can happen. So don't do it. Don't do it. Keep your composure. It is completely a lack of composure. And Dominic and Patrice told the team that. They said, how regretful now that that happened afterwards. So, and I wasn't here, didn't see it, hadn't looked at it. That was a decision by the ACC office.
With those two players, obviously two seniors who expected to start, how do you expect to kind of replace them with players who can step into those roles?
But Ross, it's early in this week, and we've looked at all of it, and we actually have taken them out of practice some and put other guys in to give our team the mentality that they're not going to be there the whole game. But we got to figure out who and where and when. Is it better to start well and have younger guys afterwards, or is it better to hang in there early and then try to bring in your older guys later? That's stuff we're really working on right now.
I'm assuming no update on Cam Kelly?
No, we're still looking at the process and trying to get a positive outcome, but we hope to hear something final any day. And we're not able to coach him. He's been on the great team for the last 4 or 5 days because we can't coach a guy that we don't know is even going to be on the bus going to Charlotte Friday. So it's got us in a really tough spot, and him. I shouldn't say us, but all of us.
Is there communication with the NCAA about why it's taking so long? Because it's game week. One or the other way.
Yeah, if you could call them for us and ask. We are letting our compliance staff handle it completely. I'm out of it because I don't think it's my place unless they ask me to be involved. But our compliance staff has been in constant communication with them since May. So we're still waiting.
With Dominique missing a half on Saturday, possibly Chaz Surratt will get on the field maybe more than you would have maybe thought a month ago. How far has he progressed, and are the instincts starting to kind of become a part of who he is out there?
Yes, Tommy Thigpen has done an amazing job with Chaz Surratt to get him in the right places. He played some safety, in high school. He's never played linebacker, and he's 230 pounds and can run 4.5. So he's really doing some good things now that we didn't see in the spring. So I think he will be a really good linebacker for us before he leaves.
Coach, how has Michael Carter impacted the team leading up to the season, and how does he sort of make it feel like a family atmosphere?
Yes, this team's been very quiet. They're not a vocal team, and they laugh and cut up, but they don't call each other out. And we've said that coach-led teams are very average. Player-led teams are very good. The best teams I've ever coached, the players in the locker room and on the field handled all of it. They told them to shut up and do this and act right, play harder, and we're working on that now. We're still not there, and we're going to need that Saturday. There's going to be adversity in any ball games, especially first games. There's more upsets in opening games and bowl games than any other time of the year because there's this span of time where you have less practice live and kicking game live, and that's why those two games are so unpredictable. But you take a guy like Michael, we've challenged him to step up and lead, and Michael's a really good player and maybe a better person. He's very positive and he's very upbeat. He's still not the most vocal guy, so we're trying to get them all to just pick each other up. And our running backs are all good. Antonio Williams has lost weight. He's in much better shape. He's much quicker than he was last year, so I like seeing him play in practice. And but those three guys, they could play about anywhere, and they've got to help us get the other guys stirred up. I don't think there's not a guy who speaks in the offensive line. They don't speak. I mean, Coach Searles does, and he's hoarse yesterday, and he finally said, "Would somebody please start talking? My throat's hurting. I'm tired, so I'm not going to be out there Saturday. So please, just do it." But they don't speak. They just don't speak.
Have you had a team like that before?
Usually those guys there's usually one guy that stirs them all up. Right now we don't have that guy, so we need a guy to stir the pot with those guys. But usually they're more quiet than the defense. But this team is quiet. I mean, it's just a team that I think they're probably a little bit of that lack of confidence has been why they've been like this, and now it's time to be aggressive and go. And I told them Saturday, when adversity hits, you get stronger. You have better body language. That's because it's going to come, and we've got the team that overcomes adversity the best is going to be the team with the best chance to win.
What do you expect to see from South Carolina on Saturday?
They're always aggressive on defense, but with a true freshman quarterback, Will's going to put a bunch around the line of scrimmage and blitz him and try to stop the run and hit the quarterback. I mean, that's easy. I mean, that's a no-brainer, and Will's one of the better defensive coaches in the country, so he gets that. Offensively, I would think they'd try to line up and run the ball against us because they've got the two big backs, both of them 215 and 220 with Feaster coming over. And the transfer portal has changed things that Feaster plays against South Carolina and Clemson in November, December, whenever it was, and now he's going to play against against Clemson for South Carolina this year. It's different than ever before. So, but I think that they've got the really good quarterback. He's experienced. He's an older guy. He's a smart guy. He's a coach's kid, and they're big up front on defense. But you start looking at what these guys can do. I mean, Bentley's been around a long time. So, there's a huge receiver, Edwards, 89, 6'3", 215. He's a guy they're going to go to. So I think they spread them out. They try to run the ball and try to get us in one-on-one situations, and then Bentley's really accurate, so he's going to try to get the ball to his big backs on the edge in the passing game, run it up inside, and then throw to Edwards. Football's not complicated, people are. So we got to figure all that out. What else? Anything else?
Good. All righty.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you Saturday.
That's right.